Good evening, my Real News Midday TV family. Welcome back to the channel for another news update. And in the news this evening, Indecom investigating triple fatal shooting in St. James. The Independent Commission of Investigations is investigating the circumstances of a triple fatal shooting by police in St. James on Tuesday morning. Indecom says it responded to the Christmas Eve killing in Orange, St. James, where police reported that the area fugitive apprehension team went to a premises with a warrant in search of a named person. It is alleged that 3 men, including the man police were seeking, fired at the cops when they tried to approach the building, and the lawmen returned the fire. The 3 men were later pronounced dead, and the 3 firearms were reported as recovered from them. Indecom noted in its press release that despite the operation being a planned one, no body cameras were reportedly issued or worn. 1 man was identified as the subject of the warrant, while the other deceased men remain unidentified. The Indecom teams says the investigation is underway, including the examination, processing, and packaging of evidential material and the bodies of the deceased men. The agency is now entreating residents with information about the identity of the deceased men or general information about the incident, including videos to share, such as via its WhatsApp number at 876-553-0000. So far this year, 183 persons have been shot and killed by the security forces, including 15 in December alone. St. James farmer held on gun charges. A St. James farmer has been slapped with gun-related charges after a weapon was found in his bedroom. Charged with possession of a prohibited weapon and unauthorized possession of ammunition is 29-year-old Okong Nelson, a farmer of Bottom, Cambridge. Reports from the Montego Bay police are that about 5 p.m. Monday, a targeted raid was carried out at Nelson's home. During a search of a bedroom he occupied, a Smith & Wesson pistol with a magazine containing 5 cartridges was found. Nelson was taken into custody and charged. His court date is being finalized. Businessman charged in St. James. A St. James businessman is facing firearm-related charges following an incident in Anchovy in the parish on Friday, December 20. 28-year-old Yino Grant of Mafuta, Anchovy, is to answer to charges of wounding with intent, using a firearm to commit a felony, and the discharge of a firearm in any place. Reports from the St. James police are that about 5:15 p.m., 2 women and a man were involved in an altercation when Grant drove on the scene and pulled his firearm. He reportedly opened a gunfire at one of the women, hitting her in the thigh. She was assisted by residents to the hospital where she was treated. On Saturday, December 21, an operation was carried out in the community which led to the arrest of Grant. He was taken into custody where he was charged. His court date is being finalized. St. Elizabeth teens charged for stealing food and money from man's house. Detectives assigned to the St. Elizabeth Police Division have charged 2 teens, a 13-year-old and a 17-year-old, with housebreaking, larceny, and the malicious destruction of property. Reports from the Black River Police are that about 7 a.m. on Friday, December 20, a man securely locked his house in Lancewood District, Middle Quarters, and left for work. He later received a call that 2 boys were seen leaving his house. Upon his return, he discovered that his front door was damaged, food items and an undetermined sum of cash was missing. A report was made to the police and the scene was visited. The teens were subsequently arrested and jointly charged with the offenses on Monday, December 23. Their court date is being finalized. Woman killed by coaster bus in St. Elizabeth. A woman died on Monday night after being hit by a Toyota coaster bus while walking along the Goshen Main Road in St. Elizabeth. The deceased has been identified as Kimberly Simpson of a Goshen District, Santa Cruz address. It is reported that around 9:45, Simpson was walking along the roadway when she was hit by the bus. The injured woman was taken to the Mandeville Regional Hospital where she was pronounced dead. The driver of the bus was warned for prosecution. The Santa Cruz Traffic Department is investigating the matter. Former Atlas employee accused of $10 million heist freed. A former Atlas employee charged over the disappearance of $10 million from an armored truck has been found not guilty in the Kingston and the St. Andrew Parish Court. Nadine Miller, 52, was acquitted of a charge of larceny as a servant. Miller was part of the team that loaded the armored truck on January 25, 2018. The Crown had alleged that after helping to load the truck, Miller, who had been complaining of feeling unwell, left the compound. Shortly after the truck departed, it was discovered that a bag containing $10 million was missing. However, $6 million was later found at a school attended by Miller's child on February 9, 2018. Her attorneys Peter Champagny Casey and Samoy Campbell argued that the evidence against their client was insufficient and that she should be acquitted. Campbell submitted that surveillance footage showed Miller leaving the compound without the bag in her possession. Campbell also noted that the armored truck left the compound without Miller and that a check of the money was conducted after Miller had already exited. Campbell further pointed out that Miller was arrested on the 28th of January 2018 and that the police had conducted multiple searches at the school where the money was discovered after her arrest. He argued that this suggested the money could have been placed there by someone else. The room where the money was found had no door, making it easily accessible, the attorney also argued. The court also heard that Miller was not the only Atlas employee with the children attending the school. In delivering the verdict, Chief Parish Court Judge Chester Crooks stated that the evidence did not sufficiently establish that Miller was responsible for taking the money and highlighted that the evidence did not rule out the possibility that other individuals with access to the money had taken it. As a result, Miller was found not guilty. Detective arrested on sex-related charges. A senior detective assigned to the Area 1 Narcotics Division has been arrested on sex-related charges. Detective Sergeant Neil Williams is facing charges of sexual grooming and having sexual intercourse with a person under 16 years old. He was charged last Friday following a ruling from the Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions. It's alleged that sometime in 2023, the policeman met the complainant and started communicating with her via WhatsApp. Arrangements were then reportedly made on December 12 this year for them to meet after the complainant asked for money to purchase clothes for the Christmas holiday. They reportedly met in Dunsville, Oterios, where the policeman allegedly had sexual intercourse with her in his car. They were reportedly seen by relatives of the complainant, who reported the matter at the Oterios police station. The police sergeant was taken into custody, placed on an identification parade, and later charged. He was offered a $300,000 bail with sureties on Monday when he appeared before the St. Anne Parish Court. 2 men dead after motorcycle collision in Hanover. 2 men died along the Old Green Island Main Road in Hanover on Monday following a collision involving a motorcycle and a car. They have been identified as 23-year-old Donovan Daly and 27-year-old Markina Buchanan, both mechanics of Caldwell in the parish. It is reported that about 10 a.m., the mechanics were traveling on a gray Cobra motorcycle ridden by Mr. Daly, while a white Toyota Corolla Crown was traveling in the opposite direction. It's alleged that the driver of the Toyota Crown was in the process of overtaking another car in the vicinity of the Elvis Seafood restaurant when the motorcycle collided with the right side of the Crown. Mr. Daly and Mr. Buchanan were thrown from the motorcycle and received serious injuries to their heads, hands, and feet. They were pronounced dead on arrival at the Noel Holmes Hospital. Thank you everyone for watching. See you tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. for another news update.